Welcome everybody, I am Seven and I am the DM of 7th Roll, which is the channel that you are currently watching this video on. For those of you who do not know us, we are a channel that mostly discusses Dungeons & Dragons, although I've tried to dip our toes a little bit more into Pathfinder as well recently. But we play a weekly Dungeons & Dragons show over on Twitch, and then we upload the VODs here. And I make these kinds of videos where I talk about anything that really suits my fancy within the tabletop RPG community. Because, I don't know, because I feel like it, I guess. But, as you can see today, we are going to be talking about the newest One D&D update. And as I say that, I realize that we're not calling it One D&D anymore because Wizards decided to go with just a player's handbook playtest because I don't fucking know. I don't know. I'm still gonna call it One D&D because that's what they started with, and they're going to goddamn stick with it. But anyway, before we start with this, first of all, a couple of disclaimers. One, I am not telling you that you should go and support Wizards. With the recent stuff that's happened with them, I'm not planning on buying any Wizards of the Coast products at the moment. I have a video talking about the OGL stuff that happened a couple of months ago, which honestly, I still don't really know how I feel about it, even after backpedaling. And then there's some other stuff that happened which other people are probably far better at explaining than I am. So I'm not going to waste too much time on that. But pretty much, this is not an endorsement. This is just honestly me having played 5th edition for 6-7 years now at this point and being interested in the newest developments and what's going on within Wizards and all that. And kind of going through it. Second of all, you should probably also realize that I am not going into this with the most happy opinion, I guess you can say. I also made a video talking about pretty much the problem that I currently have with One D&D, or the Player's Handbook playtests, I guess. And I'm hoping that this maybe finally fixes some of those issues, but I honestly doubt it, if I'm being perfectly honest. The fact that they're very heavily trying to say that it's not a new edition, it's just a revision, makes me think that the problem that I really have with One D&D isn't going to be solved anytime soon. So, for those of you not in the know, if you want a TLDR, pretty much at this current point in time, One D&D just feels like a fucking balance patch, and if that's all that this is, then I don't even know why you would ask money for that kind of stuff. But anyway, that's it for the negativity and me talking about how much I hate One D&D. Let's now go into the actual updates. So, I'm literally recording this a couple of hours after it came out. So I have not really seen anything. I've heard a couple of quick notes from a buddy of mine, but other than that, I haven't really heard anything from it. So for once, I'm actually going in completely blind. What I do know is what's in there, because what is inside, we get 7 classes: Bard, Cleric, Druid, Monk, Paladin, Ranger, and Rogue. Each of these classes includes multiple subclasses, 2 of which are entirely new. Oh, okay, we're getting completely new subclasses. Okay, I did not see that coming. But pretty much in short, if I'm not mistaken, this means that we're getting all of the classes that we didn't get in Revision 5, right? Because I think 5 was the wizarding group, so Wizard, Sorcerer, Warlock, which are not in here. And we got Barbarian and Fighter, which were 2 out of the 3 warrior group classes. The third one, Monk, is here, and then the other 6 they did once in previous revisions, or 1D&Ds, or whatever they want, whatever we're calling them at this point. I don't know. And I'm assuming they're kind of like revising them. So I do have the player's handbook open on a different screen. I do have the old UAs, 1D&Ds, whatever, open on in a browser. I'm not going to be switching between them during the video because I know myself I'm going to forget to switch back at that point. But in other words, I do have it open so I can kind of compare if stuff changed. One thing this also immediately... Yeah, okay, so this is something that I was looking at. So the following sections were introduced in the previous article and are provided here for reference, and these will receive some revisions. So revised weapon table and the weapon mastery options appear here. So that was something that I was wondering because I knew they were releasing Monk in this one. We all knew they were releasing Monk in this one. It was the only class they hadn't done yet. But Monk is part of the warrior classes, and seeing as fighter and barbarian very specifically focused on weapon mastery, we know that Monk has to focus on that as well. So I was like wondering if they were going to make changes to the weapon mastery system, because I'm still not a big fan of it personally at the moment. And then the glossary, I mean, they always do that. So yeah. This is playtest material, we know that. Other than that, I think it's just like, how do you playtest it, power level feedback, like, I really don't care. So, I think this is really everything we need to know about this stuff. We're going to be looking at 7 classes, we're going to be looking at spells, we're going to be looking at feats, and yeah. I'm not going into this with a positive outlook, I'm going to be perfectly honest. Especially because apparently the bar just starts here. Like, can't you... Really, it's that hard? I know that it's like a fucking 77-page document, which is insane in and of itself. But like, really? You had to put Bard on the same fucking page? Is that really what you had to do? Like, God. Oh, by the way, small thing that I should also mention, I have not seen Crawford's video on this as well. I don't know anything of the design principles. I'm really going into this completely blind because that's how I usually do these. I usually go into these completely blind. So yeah, also I'm going to have to drink a lot, I think. All right, we all know this is going to be shit, so let's get into it, shall we? Cool.